everybody, how are you? Today I'm going to be making a picadillo, and it's with ground beef and potatoes. That's the main two ingredients. It's like the foundation of the recipe. But I am going to be adding a few more ingredients in it to make it more of a meal for myself, because I am single and my children are grown and married, so I just cook for myself. So when I do cook, I like to try to cook to where I'm making enough food that'll last me 2-3 days, maybe even 4 days. It just depends on what I'm making. It's just easier. I can grab something to eat whenever I'm hungry without having to really get in the kitchen and cook. So I like that. I love that part of being single, that I can eat the same thing for 3 or 4 days and I don't care, because that's what I like to do. So anyway, so this picadillo is going to have a few more ingredients in it to make it a little bit heartier for myself and filling. And I do like leaving the potato skins on my food, because it just adds more fiber and it helps with digestion, and it'll just make me feel fuller. So anyway, I would love for you to join me into the kitchen if you would like to, and just watch how I make this simple recipe. It's a simple Mexican dish, but again, as always, I'm always doing something different to it and tweaking it and adding my own agenda to it. I don't know, but that's what I do. That's how I like it. All right, I will see you guys in a little bit in the kitchen. Bye. All right, thank you for joining me in my kitchen. I am going to go over the ingredients super quick and then just start cooking. It's a super easy dish, and it's really good. And you know what? I had forgotten to put on my, I was gonna say bib, my apron, but I do need a bib sometimes. And I just feel like this apron either shrunk or your homegirl grew. And I think I may have grown a little bit. Yeah, that was a little tight. But anyway, okay, so here I have peas, corn, 2 serranos, onion, and bell pepper. Bell pepper gives it such a good flavor. So that's what I have here. And then of course I have, can you hear that? That's my stomach. I'm hungry. And then I have a whole bunch of garlic. And you know, all of these ingredients I just showed you, it's up to you how, I don't measure. I never have been a measurer, but I mean, I do when I have to. Of course, when I'm making some particular recipe that I've never made before or something, I do measure. But for stuff like this, you just throw in what you like. Like, do you want more corn? Throw in more corn. Do you want more peas? Throw in more peas. Do you want less potatoes? Oh, by the way, here are the potatoes. And these are small potatoes. There are 3 of them. Can you see that? Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna drop it. So, and then garlic. I love garlic, so that's why I have probably 8, 9, 10 cloves. So yeah, everything is to your taste. Just throw it in there and it'll all be yummy. And I forgot to get up my spices. Let me get those really quick and I will be right back. Okay, so here are the spices that I use. Garlic powder, yes, even though I have garlic in there, I still add garlic powder. You want a really good amount of flavor. Onion powder. I do throw in cayenne a little bit, not too much. Even though I do have the 2 serranos, I do throw in more cayenne. And then, of course, our lovely Comino. So that's it. Those are the spices. Oh, wait a minute. And of course, my Celtic, still no one's corrected me. I don't know if it's Celtic or Celtic. I guess I could Google it. Hello. And I forgot to mention the main ingredient, which is the carne. All right. And I'm going to go ahead and start cooking now. All right, here I am browning the ground beef. And yeah, I started off with it a little bit frozen, but it'll thaw out here in a second. It'll thaw out really quick, actually. I'm just going to go ahead and brown it till I get half of it cooked. Then I'm going to add in my salt. And I want to say, whenever you have, if some of you don't know this, if you are cooking a dish with potatoes, you need to always make sure that you add extra salt because the potatoes will soak up and take out a lot of that salt flavor. So just always make sure, bam, you put in another pinch of salt. So I'm going to brown it here a little bit more, and then I'm going to add in my Comino next. And you want to make sure you break it up really well, that there aren't any big chunks. That's what makes it a picadillo. Actually, I'm not sure if that's what makes it a picadillo. Hold on, I need to Google that. Yes, that's what makes it a picadillo. I was correct. You picarlo, you chop it or you mince it really fine. And so that's what you're doing with the ground beef. So here I'm obviously adding my comino, and I added a lot. That gives it such a good flavor. So always make sure you add a lot of the comino. Now I'm adding the cayenne, and I'm just going to add a little bit in there, not too much since I already have the 2 serranos. There's the onion powder. Again, guys, I'm sorry I don't measure. I just throw in based on the flavors I want to be more prominent, and that's just how I cook, especially when it comes to recipes like this. And there's the garlic powder. Again, not putting too much since I do have a whole bunch of garlic cloves. I don't want it too garlicky. I really enjoy chewing on those garlic cloves once they cook in there. They're so good, and they're super healthy for you too. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just continue to picar the meat and mix in all those spices. And once I brown everything, then we'll throw in some of the other ingredients. Okay, so I am wrapping up all the chopping of the ground beef, and I'm about to put in some of the other ingredients now. On my onions and bell peppers, you can see that they look different and not freshly chopped. That's because I freeze a lot of my vegetables. And the same with those serranos. I bought a whole bunch of them and I freeze them. I love having stuff like this on hand for ready to go when I want to make some sort of, especially a Mexican dish. So yeah, that's why they look like that, because they were thawed out. But they're fine. There's nothing wrong with them. They taste just as good. As same thing with the bell pepper. I love bell pepper. I always have to have bell pepper on hand. So I'll buy 3 or 4 bell peppers, and especially if I don't use them all, when I buy them, then I dice them up before they start to even go bad, and I put them in the freezer. So that's what I tend to do a lot when it comes to cooking in the kitchen. And I am a prepper, so I do like having an abundance of things in my freezer just in case of an emergency. And yes, in case of an emergency, I also have a generator that I use to actually keep my refrigerator running, like I did, when was it, like 3 or 4 years ago when we had an ice storm. I brought in my generator, and it runs on batteries, so I love it. I can have it in the house without any worries. But anyway, yes, okay, back to cooking. Sorry. I threw in my garlic cloves already, and there's the bell pepper. And I was just pointing out some of the juices from the thawing of these veggies, and I'm throwing that in there too. I try to utilize everything that I can. All right, so now I'm just going to go ahead and mix in the garlic cloves, the onion, and the bell pepper. Just kind of get it all in there. And yes, with all those spices and the bell pepper and onion and garlic, smells so good. Okay, so here's the colander. I'm going to go ahead and drain out those potatoes, and I'm also going to rinse them really well. And I'm just going to go ahead and throw them in there. And you're going to notice, or you're going to see, that it looks like a lot of potatoes, but there is something that I like doing with my picadillo, which is making sure it's a little thick at the end. That way, when I want to eat it in a taco, I can actually put it in a taco because it's thick and it's not watery and it's not going to make my tortilla soggy. So what I do is I'll let the potatoes boil while I'm cooking the dish, and later on you're going to see how I go in and I smash the potatoes a little bit so that it makes the dish thick. So that's why I added a lot of potatoes, because I'm really not going to end up with that many potatoes. A lot of those potatoes are going to be a thick consistency. And that's my filtered water that I love so much, and maybe one day I'll just make a quick video about that. It's super important that you drink filtered water. I know there's so many things we need to take extra steps now. Everything can't just be normal anymore. But anyway, so now I'm going to turn up the heat, and I am going to let that boil for a while. I'm not going to put in my corn, and I'm not going to put in the peas because I like those a lot firmer at the in this dish, and I'm going to just throw those in at the very end. All right, well, I was just pointing out how it's starting to boil, and I'm just going to step away now for a while and let it do its thing. All right, here it's been boiling for around 25 minutes, and the next clip I'm going to show you where it's been boiling for around 45 minutes. All right, I am just really excited right now because my son is coming over to put in some new light bulbs that I bought. The wattage that I had was so low, it was driving everybody nuts. So I thought I'd buy higher wattage, and yes, I'm super excited about having new bulbs. All right, so here I'm pulling out the serranos again, and I'm going to start eliminating some of those potatoes for the whole purpose of thickening up the dish. So here you're going to see where I'm showing you how liquidy that still is. So now I'm going to start smashing the potatoes, and it will thicken up this dish a lot. And there it is. You can see how thick it is now. I'm going to go ahead and lower the temperature all the way to low. In fact, if you guys are ready to eat, you can actually just turn it off and the corn and peas will heat up enough in that dish. So it's pretty much ready. And what I'm going to do next is show you what it looks like up close. You can see the thickness. So good. And it smells so good right now in the house. I wish we had smell-o-vision. That would be pretty cool. All right, so here I'm just serving myself a bowl, and this is how I eat it. I am happy with this like this. Tonight I might have some more, but I'll add in some beans on the side, some refried beans. And tomorrow I will probably make tacos with it. So I'm super excited about that. This girl loves to eat. Speaking of eating, I want to share something with you. Hold on 1 second. Yep, I'm going to be making peanut clusters. You don't want to miss this recipe. I promise you they're super easy, and they're going to be the best peanut clusters you've ever had. Trust me. Well, it's time to say goodbye. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. This dish is so hot, I couldn't wait to eat it. But please don't forget to subscribe, like, and even share and comment. That would really, really help my channel grow. All right, everyone. Thank you so much, and goodbye. Hugs.